Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, good. I got. Is it loud? Is it too loud?
No, it's good.
I'm at a function right now. Perfect. Okay. Well, I'll keep my report short. I'm in Toronto.
Okay.
We had a good meeting yesterday with one of our partners, and actually that's involved with our IT team who selected their company. They're putting new fire and also cameras in all of our new buildings right across.
Okay.
And that's, of course, essential for insurance and the rest of it, but it's good to go out. And we talked about other ventures that we're both looking at. Mm-hmm. And I had a chance to meet with Son Hussein from Jordan. Actually, we have a partnership investment in Lennox, which is a camera weapon company out in Miami. Mm-hmm. And so we had a very, very good meeting yesterday, update on where that status is of that. So I'll update cabinet when we have a meeting. But we're progressing ahead. It looks like in that direction. There's, of course, hiccups now with Trump coming in. It's affecting our business in the company of Lennox in the United States because a lot of the crews were looking to sign contracts with our company that can detect anybody hiding a weapon, a gun underneath their jacket, a knife. It doesn't matter what type of metal you hide. That camera will pick it up, whether it's a full bag, whether it's under the jacket. So it's clearly a shot forward. And of course, in the United States, there's a lot of weaponization used, and schools especially, and big facilities like that, where people have taken the opportunity to go in and massacre so many people. So again, that meeting went very well yesterday. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I went back. I was in Vancouver, of course, for the MET meeting. I met the president of British Columbia, and he brought in his team, and we had a very good, positive meeting. We're both, of course, moving towards an agenda regarding what's called a dispute resolution we're both concerned about, and the agreement that deals specifically with all the training. That's, of course, the late John Furry's file, which I'm sure now on his behalf. And yes, the meeting in Vancouver for 2 days went very, very well. But I was very, I'll say, not concerned. I'll use the word, I don't find a positive word that doesn't say for students to get worried. Mm-hmm. We have a very high state of university, which is so positive. That is such positive news.
Right.
We're using our surplus right now to maintain the $5,000 per student. Give me a second. But the challenge we face on that is that there's given there's such an high application, what I'm saying is that the one that gives me a little bit nervousness is the concept of guaranteeing the 5,000, which we will for sure. But I'm worried on the concept if it continues to rise at the rate it does. At 5,000, we're over budget already.
Right.
But what's helping us right now is we have surplus that we have in the budget for several years now, which is carrying us to make sure we maintain our $5,000 commitment. But it is a surprise that so many of our students are at university. The concept of that size, we never had 2,600 ever apply to us. And so that's good news, but it's also how do you balance that? So, but again, it's something that I'm going to raise with Canada. I'll raise it with the new minister. I was supposed to have a discussion with this Mandy, I believe her name is. Mandy. I was supposed to have a discussion with her. I spoke to the Minister of Crown, Indigenous Relations, Rebecca Balti, and we had a very good meeting. We spoke for 10-15 minutes. And we're going to have a face-to-face meeting, but we had a phone meeting, and we talked about, of course, the treaty. We talked about land claims. We talked about the MHC. That's no longer a legitimate organization. There's only 2 people left there.
Right.
And yes, it's being recognized as a representative body of the Red Community also. And I'm saying they don't have represent us. They don't represent Saskatchewan. They don't represent MHC. So how can you still legitimize them when they're breaching their own Constitution? So again, that's an issue I said that you're going to have to deal with, because we're not going to sit by and watch you continue to give recognition to a body that supports state unity, that is stealing our identity, stealing our history, and actually stealing our funds. So really, that's the type of issue that will be in the forefront this coming term this year for me. But she was very open to talk about it and definitely willing to speak on it because Ontario First Nations are also taking the same position as we are, that they're stealing their history, but adopt it to be sort of this new Métis historical nation. So we don't know who the hell they are, but they're claiming to be us. They're taking the L, they're taking our flag, they're taking the beadwork, they're taking our history, and they even have the nerve to say, this is the crazy part. They had the nerve to say they were there fighting with us in other places. How in the hell can that be? That war wasn't a planned war. It happened in an instant when they sent the military group to stop us from trading and touch our brand. That's backed by a green vital shell called the Master of Southern Oak in Canadian history. We call it the victory of Broad Plains because we are, of course, our entrepreneurial people, and we did a lot of trade in the United States at the time. And we're moving our product across. And they came there and said, no, you sell everything to us. Everything comes to us in the Bay and the Northwest. And then we'll sell it for you. Our people said, bullshit. Like, you to some countries and stop our economic engines or our commodities.
Yeah.
This is how we survive. We survived like this forever. And now you come tell us that you are now controlling us. And that's how that war started. But they sent a group there weaponized and ready to fight. And they came there and they shot one of our people. There was First Nations also attached in that group of trade. And they shot one of ours and we killed them all. And so, but it wasn't like, okay, I'm meeting you in this war field. We're going to fight over here together. You got months to prepare, and you got months to prepare. And let's meet each other in the battlefield.
Yeah.
It happened in instant. So how can they have been there to come and fight? Just make believe stuff they're saying, and we're going to make sure. And it's the same thing that, there is Métis for sure in Ontario for the Red River. They work in Ottawa. They go different places and have jobs or live in, for family or love, whatever the proper is, whether it's there or in different parts of the world. But they belong to the historical refugees schools, the genealogies with a very vigorous process you have to go through to get your citizenship card. So these people today think they can just steal it and walk away with it. And again, they are affecting the finances of our people. And so a lot of their people are getting this 5,000 or more per student. And we're saying, how can they? They're not our people. They're not even Métis. How are they getting this money? This money is going to our real Métis. So anyway, that's the fight you have, and I'll keep our people posted on that. But it's something I think people need to continue to be aware of. So sometimes our young generation don't understand, or they say, oh, well, let's not fight with them. Or let's just leave it alone. You can't just leave it alone because they're going to keep on taking from you. And they're going to keep on saying you have a bigger population than you, that we should get more money than you. And pretty soon, every time we do that, your money shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. And then now you have less money for first-time home buyers. You have less money actually for ensuring that you have money for students, economic development, all the rest of it. So anyway, that's the challenge my cabinet faces, and really the minister leading that file now. And so like I said, I had a very good discussion with Rebecca and Gaul Massey. I look forward to meeting her. She's supposed to call me. They're arranging that call. It should be happening. This happened probably yesterday afternoon. I did not. She must be busy. She's got a big file. A lot of questions. She's First Nation minister to lead the file, and she's going to be challenged with so many issues that are before her.
Yeah. And
how does she come to a decision saying sometimes I can't give you, I don't have the money, or I can't do it at this time. So that's something she'll be struggling with for sure. But one thing for sure, I did echo to Rebecca that there should be nothing holding back our treaty. Our treaty should be going. Rebecca Chartrand, that's something I'm very proud of. Rebecca's father actually comes from that day, and her mom comes from Pine too. Her grandpa actually was a war veteran. His name is Gilbert Chartrand. I was really close to the family. Mm-hmm. Gilbert used to go, he had one arm. He lost his arm in World War II. And I'll tell a story another day about the situation he found himself after he was shot. And but again, he still was able. It's unbelievable. He and his son and his other son would walk in bushes for the moose to come out and then waiting on the other side of the arm with a rifle. and his shots were so accurate. The mentioned he shot twice, either by the neck or just by the heart. Like he's so quick. Like he was went on.
Wow.
Also, but I was always proud to go with him to go very fast. But I was very proud of Rebecca. Chartrand, he's going to make me proud the last name. And then we look at the other one, of course, is Buckley. Buckley comes from Saskatchewan. He's clean, 6 days, Métis. The Métis man. He was first at the MVP at one time in provincial politics.
Yeah.
But he's actually threw himself in with a paragraph in 3. I was really proud to hear that, to see that. So again, our best was to Buckley, of course, to Dr. Chartrand, to Mandy Gall-Mankity, and of course now to the new. Just in case people get mixed up, Rebecca Alty is not Indigenous. I asked her the question. I said, "Are you an Indigenous person?" But she was wearing, sort of looking like Métis blue work on her neck when she got sworn in, and I think that's what confused a lot of people. And she's not. She said, "No, I'm not Indigenous." But she was a mayor of first in Yellowknife, and so she has a good knowledge base to sitting down with Indigenous people in the past. So in the discussion we had, were very positive. Let me also say about the wildfires. Be safe out there.
Yeah.
It's scary. Lac-Dubonnie, our citizens are out there making things live in the surrounding area of Lac-Dubonnie. I know updates from my team. They're on top of the issue, trying to be making sure there's making citizens out there that need help, that need support, that need to be safe. Our team is there, and we give out our emergency response number, and I'll give it out again. People are going to listen to it. Get a pen handy. I'll talk about our emergency number. If you're in a fire issue, if you lost your home or you lost your situation and you need help, you can call the internet. We use our own resources for this. You can call it 1-888-32-2012. Let me repeat that again. Of course, long distance, but it's not long distance. 888-362-2012. Or emergency response at mmfmd.md.ca. So go to our website, you'll find them. If you need help, get a hold of them, and you'll get support. Stephanie Mueller is the head of that department, and she has been giving me updates what's going on out there. Of course, there's fires out in the north too, like in the fall area, and in the Newfoundland Provincial Park. And our premier, of course, is echoing his sentiment. He's pushing out any kind of support they need, that he'll be there, and the same will go for us. So, again, I'm very proud of our premier in the context of how quickly he's responding. Very, very proud of our government and the way we react. To the mayor showed that reaction when the Cranberry and other areas were burning a couple of years ago. How fast we reacted, and our people are so proud to see the quick response of the Métis government to make sure we had a place for them to stay, we had food for them, we had clothes if necessary, and they're taking care of them. So people have never forgotten that. So we're very proud of that. So I'm going to close off with some birthdays here.
Okay.
Happy 65th birthday to Barbara Lavery. Of course, she sits on a child family committee. April's mom. Happy birthday, Barb. She's now, again, 65, the big brown apple size. And she's one of our proud. She says she's never gone lived in or owned a new home. And she's one of the recipients that lives in our apartment on top of the new apartment block. And she is so proud to be part of one of our residents there in a brand new home. She's never lived one in her entire life. She's 65. So, kudos to you. Happy 17th birthday going to Andy Dudium. Of course, that's Diane and Tom's son. Happy May 19th birthday on Monday. Happy birthday. Happy 80th birthday going to Elder Lloyd Vermillion, celebrating his birthday on Tuesday, May 20th. Of course, Lloyd retired at Command of the Federation, was maintenance for a long, long time. And happy birthday again, Lloyd. Look forward to seeing you at the next function somewhere. He's always at our functions and so proud to be there. Happy 85th birthday going out to Métis veteran Elder Kim Beroche of Saskatchewan. He sits on our committee of veterans, and he's a veteran himself. His 85th birthday is on May 22nd. So happy birthday, Jim, if you're out there in Saskatchewan listening, because you usually listen to our show. Happy 63rd birthday going to Debbie Koppel, chairperson of Chile with a hard-working local. Always doing so much for the kids, and happy birthday. Also, I want to again remind people that Richard Janai and Bella, I believe, it's May 30th is when they're getting married in Back Bay on a Friday. I think a Friday.
Yep.
So I'll be heading down there. I think you're going to Miami too. You said,
I'm trying, yeah.
yeah. Well, I have a house there. There's your room. Whether you sleep on a couch or sleep on the floor, sleep if you're lucky, you get a bed. But there'll be a lot of people coming out there, but we'll have a place for people to stay if they need a place to stop. Okay, my house is there, and my sister lives right next door, and she'll probably make room if you need to.
Okay.
If you come. This
Thanks.
weekend, of course, is a long weekend. It's acknowledging Queen Victoria, and I know that statue's been ripped down of Queen Victoria, and but people have forgotten, not us. We've forgotten, of course, Queen Victoria reigned from 1819 to 1981, and there's some issues, of course, of the Queen and the Crown and its actions towards Indigenous people, and that some of their policies were actually death-driven. So it's quite sad to see that, but I know during Queen Victoria's era, John MacDonald, the Prime Minister of Canada, was trying to just take the land of the prairies, which we all live in now today, which was not part of Canada. In 1870, it was joined, but prior to that, it was not part of Canada. Canada was only Ontario East. And so when he wanted to try to buy it for 300,000 pounds, and he wanted to actually have a military force assigned to it, because he wanted the British Army to come in to fight with the Métis, because he did not have, and he was not confident with any kind of military he could put together, because the Métis were very well known to be great fighters. And so Queen Victoria made it very clear to him, he will not sell it to him for 300,000 pounds, nor will he send an army until they can deal with the uprising of the Métis. So that's why in Parliament he said, I'm treating with the Happys, I'm negotiating a treaty. And that's in 1870. And at that time, of course, Riel was negotiating the joining of the joining Canada to the Manitoba province, to the province of Manitoba. And then, of course, that Queen Victoria's petition forced the Prime Minister to acknowledge he had to have a treaty with us. So the treaty is now in place. As I said to you, I spoke to Rebecca already also, that we expect it to be in Parliament very quickly. Because it's finished, the negotiations are all complete, and now we need it to be voted on in Parliament and moving ahead. So I'm looking forward to that. It's 154 years to press history, and I look forward to that. But also remind our listeners that because we have such a strong relationship between the Métis First Nation again, and I think we could have it today too. I don't understand why there's such a jealousy that comes inside there that denies us the relationship building we should have. Because even at that time, 1871, first treaty comes out. If you look at the Manitoba Act and the negotiations, Riel was very clear there had to be treaties established for the protection of First Nations. So again, of course, the Métis were the strong military and people of the West, and we had a very strong presence. We had the biggest population in the West, and so Canada had no choice but to also acknowledge the acceptance of Treaty 1 and moving forward to Treaty 10. But again. But I think there's a missing link there that could happen. That I think I was invited by SEO on the economic conference they had to speak. It'll be the first time I've really been invited to speak at the ANC or the Grand Chiefs. But I look forward to that because my message will be loud and clear. Why aren't we working together? Like, we're losing out. Other foreign entities are coming in, and I said this not in a negative way, but in a very concerning way. That if you look at the gas stations and restaurants right from Winnipeg to Thompson, who owns them today? It's no longer First Nation. It's not First Nation. It's not Métis. It's all, and I'm not speaking against them, but you got to show that how when they work together, how they make a move. The people from India, they own all the gas stations all the way through in restaurants. So what can happen very quickly is they just shut off the tap. And how are you going to get Thompson? You can't have no fuel.
Yeah.
So you have no place to stop. Electric towers are coming. They're going to have plug-in stations. So all the First Nations did hold some gas stations. They sold them to the people of India. So, and I'm not saying it in a negative way. Trust me, this is a business venture. They're smart. They got together with people from India. They got a lot of money, ton of money, big investors in India, very rich investors. And there's something that's happening, and we better open our eyes to it. And if we're too busy fighting each other and jealous of each other, how do we protect our people and our families if we live next door to each other? So this is the kind of discussions we need to start happening, and not to be saying we're racist or being negative against people in India, but they're a family grouping. and they won every gas station from Winnipeg to Boston, and in Thompson and in Winnipeg. And so, and they own the trucking companies and all these things that transport our goods and products. So we need to be smarter than that and more sharper, and instead thinking about our families, our communities, and jobs. Anyways, I'll talk about more subjects later. But again, in closing, Rebecca Chartrand, congratulations again from myself personally and Moen so well. And Mickey, again, thank you for your past work that you have done. And, Mickey's been there for a long time. So give it a shot to another person, I guess, Rebecca. You're getting trusted by the people of the North, and now you got to deliver and work very hard. And to be a minister the first time you're elected, that's something to be proud of. So I know your grandpa, Albert, will be very, very proud of you, knowing there's my granddaughter sitting in Parliament, Métis girl from Dutch Bay and Kitty girl from Pine Creek. So congratulations, and we'll talk to you guys next Saturday.
All right. Take care, David.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.